Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ernie C, the Gap Tooth Genius, and I'm back with another coaching edition. This is going to be episode 180, and I have from Arvin High girls basketball head coach Mario Pena. Sir, what's up?
What's going on, Ernie? Thanks
Man,
for having me.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Let me just kind of give the resume. It's going to be a 23rd year at Arvin, 20 years as a varsity head coach, over 500 games, 500 varsity games coach, bro. Almost 300 wins, you told me. That's big time. Eight league titles, two Valley runner-ups. And this last year, man, you were co-league winner with Golden Valley of the Yosemite Horizon League, and you were 13 and 14, sir. Um, are you ready for another season?
Yeah, I think I got it in me. I think I got enough energy to go another season. Um, we'll just have to see what happens.
And we'll start off with, just the experience. Mario, over 500 games coached at the varsity level, man. That is such a difficult task. That's consistency, that's love, that's passion. What's been the key to your longevity at Arvin High?
You know what? The players make it fun, make it enjoyable, make it easy. My coaching staff, my assistants have been with me for like 19 years and Coach Tarver and about 14 years for Coach Velasco. So I think what we do well is we build that kind of family atmosphere that that really the girls adapt to very well. And then, we have great kids out there at Arvin to to mentor, to coach. And to tell you the truth, it all seems to be going too fast.
Man, so do you feel do you feel like you have, is there a certain amount of years you want to keep going, or is there something, do you have a magic number in your head? Like, okay, this
You
might
know
be.
what? I just as long as me, myself, my coaches could still impact these kids, um, and we have the energy to do it. Um, I could see us, going a little bit more,
A couple of
because
years.
20 years is a long time. And before that, I was doing, probably a good 8 or 9 at the junior highs, building, around the area.
Yeah,
So
of
we've
course.
been at it for a while. But again, coaching with who I coach with and who you know, to get the girls from point A to point B, it's just a joy for me.
What are you looking forward to this season, more? I know you're coming off that co-league championship with Golden Valley. This is actually going to be not many. I don't know how many people know this. I'm sure the people in the know in the coaching community know this, but this is going to be the last year in this league before we move on to a new league next year.
Yeah.
Um, what are you looking forward to in the last season's Horizon League?
Well, you know what? I'm looking forward just to compete, to have our girls compete, to be successful in every which way in the league. The league's tough. It gives us a good balance of teams to play against, good balance of teams that have different systems.
Hmm.
And I'm just looking forward to do what we do and hope it's enough to try to repeat as league champs.
Definitely, man. And we talk about systems more. Yours, man, and just because I've competed against you a few times, sir. And I know we all just, man, when we see Arvin, it's like we know what's coming. It's not a, it's what we say, it's not a walk in the park, you know. Where did you get your system from? Just that aggressive defense, a lot of turnovers into baskets, defense into offense. Where did you get that philosophy from? And why? Like, when was that time you said, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to build for my program from here on out.
You know, that's a good question. When we first started, I just wish I would have known what I know now when I first
Mhm.
started, because I had amazing athletes, amazing, tough minded girls, just really tough. And, I probably didn't um, know it, of course, didn't have it, all the system into place. I think we finally got our system into place probably about 16, 17 years ago, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
The system, when I first started, I was kind of with another assistant before Tim came. And it was like I knew what I wanted to do because when I was on JV, my varsity coach at the time had a system of, you know, kind of like be tough, press,
Hmm.
shorten up the court. And I
Definitely.
kind of gravitated towards that.
Hmm.
And that's when we got our system for. We knew that what we had to do, and we had variations of our 1-2-2 trap that we use now that
Hmm.
was different. And then we finally, kind of like put some seasoning on it, and now it's just
Definitely.
been the same all that time. So,
Definitely.
but it's something that I knew that in order to have a competitive advantage, to run that system and put pressure on people.
Hmm.
Um, we're not boxers, as they say, we're brawlers,
Yeah,
so,
man, 100%.
yeah. And so, it was kind of that mentality that, hey, I'm going to try to force turnovers and pressure the opposing team, whether it's 75 feet, 94 feet, whatever it is,
Hmm.
something to shorten the basket for my girls. So once they do get a turnover, they don't have to go as far.
Definitely, man.
But yeah, it's just a system that, we're definitely proud of, a system that my assistant coach has a lot to do with, Tim Tarver. And, we just been milking it, and it's still going till today. So we're proud of
Well,
it.
it's like I said, man. It's that when I know for sure, like when teams play, man, it's just a well respected. We know what we're gonna get, and we can prepare. But sometimes even being prepared is not enough for the brawl that we're about to get in. And I just always, I really, really admire that heart that that you get from your girls, man. What steps do you take to develop that? That's not, that's something that has to. I'm sure it takes time, but what is something that makes your practices embody the likeness and competitiveness of a game, in your practices? How do you get the best out of them?
You know what? I think for we have an advantage in our community. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hmm.
Our players' parents, their moms, their dads, it's hard to find people to outwork their parents.
Definitely not.
They're out there working hard, whatever it is that they do, warehouses, fields,
Yep.
uh, other jobs where they work hard. It's hard to outwork someone from our community. And I think these girls have it in them. They have some of that, a lot of that in them actually.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and we try to embody the hard work on the court, try to keep practice at an upscale level every time. And we kind of, we're tough at practice. We're kind of preparing them for the crazy games. We've been in a bunch of crazy games together ourselves.
Yes,
So,
100%.
it's just one of those things that we try to embody their work ethic into our game plan. And it's really um, easy to do that because, our girls are from Arvin and Lamont. And to me, it's hard to outwork those, our people from Arvin and Lamont.
They're
And
grinding for
it
everything.
happened.
They got to work for everything they got, and you can
Yeah,
see that. No, that's definitely the DNA of Arvin High, man. I love it. I love it.
definitely.
What? So we were talking about almost 300 wins. Where are you at right now? I know it doesn't show me on Max Preps. I was looking at this earlier, trying to do my due diligence. Where are you at
Someone
right
told me I
now?
was I was like 10 or 11 away.
Oh man, such a
Yeah,
big number,
I think
Mario.
I'm 11 away. It's just
Such a big number, sir.
it is. It's so humbling, man.
It's like
Because
wow.
you've been through the 20 years, and I've been through some of the great coaches out here in Kern County, the late Todd Dennison,
Mhm.
Charles Sir, Glenn Hager, all those guys. Those guys have over 400 wins or 500 wins even.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Todd Dennison was like 236 and 36 when he passed. Val Mancera, those guys, they're just it was hard to win early.
Yeah,
It was hard to win. It was just so ultra competitive, and you had every program had a great head coach at the helm.
definitely.
A great head coach that valued winning, and it was just hard to win.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%,
but
man.
I'm humbled to still be around, and believe me, I took a little bit from all those guys.
And it's hey, man, just kind of piggy like the last couple of years. I think when we first had our first intro, it was just kind of like, who's this guy? 'Cause I didn't know. I was just so new to the girls' game. And just seeing your work ethic, bro. It's like, damn, I gotta play him every year. It was kind of like that. It was really like, I gotta bring it. We all, and I think we both brought the best out of our programs. And footy was just kind of
Definitely.
new. it was kind of new to our program. You know, the last couple of years before we kind of took over this program, it was really different. The environment was different, the standard was different. Once we came in that first year, we had our games. Dude, I just knew that it was not going to be a easy. There was no easy wins in our league with you, Kurt. At that time we had Aguilar in our league too.
Yeah.
Bad. And Del Earl was so, they were new, so that they didn't really have a team that first 2 years, but that's a tough league, bro. I did not understand that as the head
It
coach
was.
there. And it's not just varsity, all three levels want the sweep.
Yes.
It's personal, dude. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be personal. We know that.
No,
We
no.
BS, we talk about it now.
Yeah.
We had breakfast together, but
Yeah.
at the time it's like I want to I can't figure this out. It was very frustrating and it was not, but then we had some great games, bro. Especially
Oh,
that first
definitely.
year, man. Um, I didn't understand the history of our league and our rivalry. I didn't know any of this stuff, and just being a football guy, we just kind of locked in with boys basketball. So when we
Uh-huh.
had our first couple matchups, dude, I think we really brought the best out of each other, I think that still exists to this day.
Absolutely.
Now we have to bring it. Now we have to scout. Now we have to do. Some of our assistants may have to watch, may miss a game to go check out what Arvin's doing, what Golden Valley's doing.
Yeah.
It's I never thought it would be that competitive. I didn't know what I was going to get myself into. I didn't know if it was going to be a 2-22 year, and thank God it wasn't. We had some success, but it was always fun to play you, man. And I know we don't really talk about our games together, which is weird. I know people probably won't believe us, but we don't
Yeah,
ever talk about our
yeah.
games.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where we both have teams to play, give 100 and stuff, but
Yeah,
back to being Ernie and Mario. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
We never
Yeah,
People probably won't believe us, but we as coaches, as we talk about this other stuff, especially when we have
yeah,
just coaches, we just talk about, standards and, I guess the life of a high school coach. We don't really talk about battles and all that. And but just seeing, what you do with Summer League, Mario, what you do with, you're building you've always built this whole program, and it's admiring, bro. It's something that I think I always tell people, you got to learn from that. That's the standard, bro. And I know you're very humbled and you won't admit that, but it is the standard. It's great, man. I'm really honored to just have that opportunity to see that firsthand, you know?
Oh man, we're just honored to have you guys always involved in our stuff. We got the holiday showcase coming up this year,
Oh, yes,
again,
yes,
and that's a
bro.
big tournament, and it got up to 56 teams at one point, and
Yes.
we're happy to have Foothill and you guys hosting one of the sites, and we have BC this year hosting a site.
Yeah.
So
I think BC actually took it over Foothill site.
yeah,
So
no,
that
no,
that's it.
yeah, I think it's going to be it's from what I was told it's both, but either way, we're just happy and
Oh,
humbled to have you
yeah, I
guys.
think, let's dive into that too before we go into like feeder systems, and that's kind of what
Yeah,
I want to pick your brain about too. And then we'll
yeah,
talk about this season, of course, because it's here, man.
yeah,
It's here.
definitely.
You have your winter tournament. When did that start? The motivation for that, the inspiration, because it's a very big tournament, prestigious. Again, you have four sites going at all times and
Yeah.
five to six brackets. It's a beautiful tournament. When did that start, and what's the inspiration for that, Mario?
You know what? We had a player a couple years or more than a couple years back named Noemi Perez, and I coached her as a freshman and again as a senior, and she was just an amazing girl, amazing athlete, headed to
Mhm.
Cal State, running track, and she was killed by a drunk driver.
Mhm.
And so, that was pretty early in our coaching uh, careers, and just shocking to me. And um, I knew we had to do something in order to honor her memory, and we have through the Arvin Holiday Showcase, which is in its 15th year. We started it with 6 teams, and last year we had 56, and we had 4 sites. And you know, I think from all the years that I've been at it, I was so blessed to be able to go to different places like LA, Fresno,
Mhm.
Vegas, San Diego,
Mhm.
up north more, Sacramento, in all these summer tournaments. And I just ended up making coaching buddies. And they would
Mhm.
come down to the Arvin tournament, and they still come down to this day. And it's just, I'm really humbling because these people could go anywhere they want. And
Yes.
usually after Christmas, they could get up north to the West Coast Jamboree, they could go to San Diego, they could go to Vegas, they could go
Mm.
anywhere, but
Yeah.
they come to Arvin.
Yes,
And
sir.
it's just one of those things that I'll always be grateful for and humbled for, and the people that also helped us, throughout
Yeah.
the tournament.
This tournament too, man. I think again, if you're not in the know, you don't really understand. Like you could play teams that you really won't see at times, you know. And I think that's the and network with coaches that you probably wouldn't be able to meet in person if you're not doing this. And that's kind of been the biggest thing that I've seen. Just networking with. I made some coaching buddies too that I still check in. My guy Eric at Santa Maria, I would have never met him if it wasn't for the Arvin tournament, you know.
Mhm.
Sunnyside coach, I forgot his name, but I'm
Yeah,
always on his Instagram.
yeah.
I love his just seeing his style. And there was another man, who's the older coach? I forgot what. He's been there for a while, for maybe 40 years. It's mission, maybe it's a mission school. I forgot exactly what it's called. Do you know who I'm
It
talking
was
about?
it was Mission Prep.
Christian Prep.
Yeah,
Is he still around?
that was coach. He just retired this year.
Oh my God.
So yeah, he coached college and all that. Kerry, really.
Man,
Yeah,
I need to find him because I would love to have him on the podcast, talk about pick his brain and
yeah. He's
just seeing
amazing,
the
man.
dude, just seeing the way he handled his team really inspired me. Like, yo, I gotta,
Yes.
you have to tone it down a little bit, and you gotta just he treated them like the troops. You got to keep the troops in line. You got to. This is, and they followed his lead, bro. And I'll never forget. They all were watching him, and this is, he's an older man, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
and his team could play.
And they still relate to him,
Yeah, man, hell
So it's all
yeah.
good.
I loved it, man. I loved
Yeah,
it.
that's awesome.
And what was your inspiration to have such a showcase like this, Mario? Like I said, 56 teams isn't hard to manage. It's
It,
not an
it
easy
just
thing to manage.
it just grew. The inspiration was Noemi, and we still value her memory. We have her on our
Definitely.
basketball shorts. We have a claw with number 10 on it. On our score
Awesome.
table always says in memory Noemi Perez. Uh,
Awesome.
our tournament, of course, have the Noemi Perez T-shirt that everybody goes and gets at the holiday showcase. Every player gets one,
Hmm.
and those T-shirts have been in other states
Yeah,
with
man.
holiday showcase with her in there. So I think it was her inspiration. I'm just glad that it's grown to what it's grown to be, and we'll keep chugging along to try to make it bigger.
Yeah, for sure, man. So with this upcoming year, Mario, what are you looking forward to from this group that you have now? Who do who are you expecting to lead your team? And just what's the standard, or not the standard, but what's the expectations for this year?
You know, every team's different. Uh,
Hmm.
Last year was such a trying year. We had three ACL injuries. We just had girls really, really sick at the tail end of the playoffs. We played
Hmm.
the playoffs with about eight girls.
Hmm.
Some didn't start all year. We were just trying to piece it together, but it really just gave us uh, a strong enough group this year. We have five 3-year players this year that are seniors,
Definitely.
and two of them are coming off of ACL injuries.
Mm.
They should be ready by next month. So
Awesome.
that's going to help us a lot. Along with that, we have I believe, three other seniors, and we also have eight underclassmen, seven sophomores, and one freshman. Um, I really like my team. I, I,
Awesome.
I really like it. I really like the way the young ones are working. I like the way the older girls are leading.
Hmm.
We got some solid returners. I think,
Definitely.
we just get better every day, which that's what we're doing. We're stacking wins at practice right now, and if we get better every day, we could definitely have some success coming up.
What do you and what was one thing what's the most important thing you want your players to take with them, whether it's in life or basketball, and after they're done with the program. We always say it's a train station. We get through 4 years and
Yeah,
we move on to the next station. What's the most important thing that you want your players to take from their time in your program?
you know, um, I want them to know that the stuff that they learned in basketball, that that they could use it towards their life.
Definitely.
And me and Tarver, and Mr. Velasco there, Coach Velasco. We are so lucky to have all of our former players, for the most part, keep coming back, whether they come back and watch our games or they go through text or how's the team's doing, or some of them are coaching, about 8 of them are teaching. It's just one of those things where we couldn't be more proud of it. I think one time, me and coach were on a road trip and driving back in my pickup truck while the girls were in vans with their chaperones. And I think we were counting how many girls have degrees, and
Mm,
we're just blurring them out.
yeah, for
I
sure.
think throughout the years, we have over 40 girls with degrees.
Awesome. It's awesome.
That's something that goes far beyond basketball.
100%.
But I would like to say that most of our um, lessons can be uh, pertain to like a real tight knit family, and they come back. If they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't have done it. They won't come
100%.
back, but they do.
100%. This, like you said, this is going to be let me see. Let me go back to my notes. I don't want to misspeak. This will be your 20th year as the head coach at Arvin.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing? What if you go back now to your first year? What would be something you would tell your younger self about this life of coaching?
You know what? I wish I could just, shake that guy and say, "Hey, man, this is the way it's going to be," and some things. But we all grow as young coaches.
Hmm.
Um, there's some things that, as a coach, you kind of think, "Wow, maybe I could have done that better." Now looking back,
Definitely,
and but I would say have more patience, definitely,
for
for the
sure.
process. Um, so many times in my younger years, I was like, listen to me roar kind of thing. And I'm a loud, uh, I guess, over passionate sideline coach, but if you minus 20 years, I was double that. And it's just one of those things, man, that I wish I could have just had a little bit more patience and just you know, try to get through the process a little bit more calmly,
Calm, 100%.
calmly, uh, definitely.
I
That's
think
what I'll take back.
I would say too, like, man, just because I don't think people understand either. Being in the head coaching chair is not an easy task at all, and I think just the emotions is so hard to, as a young man, I'm still, like, I consider myself young in the coaching game.
Absolutely.
So hard to understand that. And now that I'm out of it, now I can see, like, dude, you didn't have to be so emotional. Like, everything would have been okay. And I just told one of the kids that, like, it's November. Are you gonna worry about that in February? I would let November problems kind of ruin
Yeah. Yeah.
my vision sometimes. Like, dude, why are you worried about November?
Yeah.
November problems will not exist in February. We're gonna have February problems. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No,
Absolutely.
I think that's something, like you said, over time. Do you feel like, I know we always value winning. We always want the kids to win, but do you feel like now we have to value, as the older we get, that we value their experience and their time in the program and them enjoying the program and taking something from it more than we, I guess, care about winning?
You know what? I think a couple years ago, it kind of hit me. I think where it's always been about winning, but
Man.
you know, when you get close to winning a Valley title, I'm unfortunate like you have, uh, and came close a couple of times. But I think the one thing that you have to tell yourself is it's not always about winning.
Hmm.
It's about the journey
Definitely.
and the getting from point and the growth of a player or of a team from point A to point Z. And I think that's in itself is is the goal. It's really to have a good growth from point A to point Z. Yeah, we all want to win. We all want to go, I want to win a Valley title or whatever,
Yeah.
or big games or stuff like that. But again, it took me to that many years of coaching, just a couple of years back, that, hey, you can't measure your successes on winning championships.
Definitely not.
It's got to be where you took these kids from point A to point Z. And as soon as I learned that, and it took me a long time to learn that, um, I think I just become better.
Yeah, of
As far as a better coach. No doubt I want to win, but
course.
no, it's about the growth of a team.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And that's why I think right now we're kind of where I'm at with just with BC and Foothill. It's like I want to see the growth of the girls. I want to make
yeah,
sure that because I know what the mistakes I made my first 2 years. I didn't really get to see it till last year when I was kind of still involved, but I was handling situations now as the head coach. It's like, damn, this is the way it looks like from a different perspective. Because before I was the head coach, I didn't really have that experience or that responsibility that
yeah.
people don't understand. Like you have the responsibility. They know your energy. They have a routine they expect to see every day. Especially they trust you. They want to be around the program. It's not all about the wins. And winning's fun. Like don't get me wrong, I love that we won, but
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
so many things I wish I could have done different just for the experience of the program and the way I reacted to certain situations. Because you can't control. There's a lot of things that you can't control with parents and school. And you know how it is with school sometimes.
yeah,
Like
yes,
that's the number one thing. It should always be the number one thing, not winning and
yeah,
by any means necessary. Like there's some things again, I guess you don't know what you don't know until it happens. And
yeah.
it's amazing, man.
It
One other
is.
thing I wanted to go into, Mario, just how do you keep this program rolling over 20 years? I know you always prepare for what's that freshman class that I'm sure you have a sneak peek in the seventh, eighth grade. The
Yeah.
importance of having a feeder system, the importance of making sure that the standard that is the same at every level, and everything is this. It's just like it's varsity. What's the importance of that?
You know, the last couple of years, it seems like less people are playing basketball. Girls are playing basketball out in our community, but
Mhm.
I do have a good pulse on what's going on or who's out there.
Mhm.
I have two former players. One's a teacher, one's an instructional aide, and they're coaching at two separate schools that feed into me.
Mhm.
And they come in on junior high nights and they bring their teams or whatever.
Awesome.
And, we give them that experience. And then Mr. Velasco has been at Sunset for 35 years. He's been coaching girls basketball for at least 15.
Yeah,
So on a daily basis, I know what's going on at that school
that's
uh,
awesome.
as far as with this basketball team. So I'm very fortunate in that realm. I think what we're running across is that uh, this last year and this year, for the first time, we're really trying to we're having trouble making our freshman team. And
Mhm.
usually we have to cut a lot of girls, or whatever. But the last 2 years, I noticed that it's been dropping down. I mean, we still have enough girls, but um, we just got to get back to uh, doing more things for the junior highs, camps, trainings, go to their games more. I got to be more active like I was before, going to the feeder schools games and say, hey, I saw you play, you're great, and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, man.
And keep them motivated because I got to do my part too.
Def-
And I think that's very important in the program. Wherever you coach, you got to know your feeder schools and you got to know who's coming to you. That way
Definitely.
you have a grasp on what you're going to do in the future.
And do you and I just like we don't got to give away all the tricks and
No,
all that stuff, but do you feel like feeder systems should kind of run what you're running and kind of at least an adaptation of that, so when they do come to Frost off JV, it's a smooth transition, or
um, a lot, I know of those three schools with my former players and my coaches in there, a lot of the stuff is our stuff.
Mhm. Definitely.
A lot of the stuff is our stuff. Um, I think that's a better transition when that happens. And when they're graduated from eighth grade and they're allowed to play summer league in June, then we get a look at them at that point. But definitely it helps having them knowing the system and the coaches go through your system and then try to implement it to their players. So I think all that helps.
And it's, just again, just I know you're a very humble coach. It's just like we've had discussions. It's like, man, Arvin, just that community of Arvin Val, that's kind of what Mario has, and Mario has you bringing the best out of that community, and that's something that so many people. I know. I wish I could do that, but we have how many schools within that 2 mile radius? Who are trying to.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get it. Like it's so
yeah.
hard.
It's a little bit different.
It's so
It
different
is.
when you can bring the best out of that community. I don't want to say small community, but a community that I'm familiar with. My wife is from Arvin, went to Arvin, graduated. They're proud to be from Arvin. That community, man, trying to get these young ladies into this program and just succeed. And it's a great job, man. Bravo, seriously, man. It's something that's
I
discussed,
appreciate
and
it.
we really envy that at times, bro, because we get so hard. Because again, just the area and just the amount of schools, middle schools and junior high and high schools, so hard difficult for us to navigate that and to be at the games. And it's something that I wish, on my end, I wish I put more effort into too, man. Because again, that is the lifeblood of the program, and it's
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. It's definitely a
so
hard thing to
hard.
do, but I think if you know, you put the time in, what you do, you just
Yeah.
got, we just all gotta keep doing it. That way
Keep
this
grinding,
sport
man.
keeps grinding and it
Keep
just
grinding.
keeps going.
Mario Pena, man. Well, sir, who do you guys open with this year? What's your first game looking like?
We open up against Taft on the 17th,
The
and then
17th.
on the 18th, we travel to Delano, and then that weekend, we're at the Sierra Pacific
Oh,
Turkey Lake Shootout.
okay, okay.
And then, we have a couple games afterwards with Golden West, Strathmore, and then we head to the coast out in Slow, which we always.
Where are those that Strathmore game at and that Golden West game? Is that in Arvin?
Golden West is at Arvin, and that's on the 24th. The 25th, we're at Strathmore.
24. I need yeah, then I want to have to write
Definitely
that.
can send you a schedule.
Yeah, it's in Max Preps as well, right?
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Well, sir, I will definitely. I'm gonna have the freedom to watch some more games this year. Hopefully, it's gonna be nice. Just to go check some of your guys' players out and see what's going on around the town. And I appreciate you being on the podcast, Mario.
hey man, I appreciate you having me. Um, keep up the good work.
Thank you,
Keep
man.
grinding.
Hey, man, keep that roll to 300, baby. We'll be counting it down. I can't wait to celebrate when it happens, man. I'll definitely give you a ring.
Definitely.
All right, Mario Pena, episode 180 of the Keep Grinding the podcast, and we out.